Hello guys, it's another video and today it is my review on Group A to Group F Round 1. So let's start off with Group A. This is not going to be a long video, but I'm going to do each group very quickly, go over what happened in each game. So Group A, we've seen Germany and Switzerland win, comfortable wins. My prediction went completely wrong. I thought Switzerland weren't going to be good. But they were outstanding in that game, and they just showed tremendous quality against Hungary, who, I'll be honest with you, came with some fire themselves, more fire than Scotland. We'll get on to Scotland in a minute. Hungary are looking to be maybe an outside contender, and I do think that they might just shock Germany tomorrow. I'm not too sure about that game, but there's a big opportunity there if Switzerland do not turn up tomorrow against Scotland. Let's talk about Germany, host nation. Outstanding. Germany at the moment, they won 5-1. They've got the biggest win in that opening round, and some of the goals that they were scoring were top class goals, and what a way to start the tournament. I mean, from my point of view, I don't think Germany will go further than the semi-final, quarter-final, as I said in the previous video. But I will say that there's an opportunity there that they can build and, learn from. And, as we've seen, Scotland have been the worst team, I think, in this tournament so far. Just nothing really they're giving. At least the other teams have been, delivering and, giving stuff. Even Hungary were good at a certain point, but elements in the last 10 minutes backed them off. So apologies. For me, I think when we look at the group, it's going to be much closer than we thought. Switzerland are in the conversation now. I don't think they're going to finish top two. I do think they just finished third here. I think Germany will finish in fourth now. If they don't improve, but it's all questions that will be answered tomorrow. I think the first one's at 5 o'clock and then the second one's at 8 o'clock for Scotland. I hope Scotland gets some points. I hope they do win tomorrow because that'll be a really interesting game, and I hope Hungary also wins. So we've got a very open group going into the final games. But, chances are it doesn't look very promising for Scotland. And they didn't turn up. It was the worst performance they've performed in a very long time. And, for me, I think for Scotland, that form that they've been going through for the last few months, even against Northern Ireland, just shows you that sometimes, tournament preparation can sometimes affect you. And it hasn't affected a lot of the teams going into this tournament, but some have been affected by that. And, effectively, it's very much up to Scotland now if they want to get into this tournament. And if they get into this tournament, we've got a group stage on our way, because I do think Hungary will probably cause Germany some upsets tomorrow. But who knows? Who really knows? Let's move on to Group B. We're going through these very quickly. Group B, Italy, Albania, and Croatia and Spain. Wow, Spain were probably the biggest surprise, and Albania. I wasn't shocked by Spain, but I was a bit surprised by how Croatia played. I said Croatia were going to get top two with Italy, and I could be honest with you, I didn't expect Spain to turn up at this tour. And I think there's a lot of young talent, but still a lot of, lost weight for them. But they've turned up, and I'm excited. I think Spain have had the best game of any games in this tournament with the opponent they've played and how they demolished them. I watched that game, and I was looking at Spain as a massive threat. And for sure, when you look back at Spain's previous tournaments, I think it's an opportunity for them to build on it. Albania, they're brilliant. They really started off magnificently. I don't know what I said there previously, but I mean, to get a goal 28 seconds into this opening game against Italy, bit of a shock. I was a bit annoyed that Italy came back, but it was a really entertaining game. I said in my prediction that I said Albania were going to have a very tough defence, and that's what we saw in that game. There was no other result than a really good defence. I think what disappointed Albania is they just couldn't create more opportunities like they did early on, and it was a bit of luck that first goal. But for me, you can't disagree that Italy deserved the win. I did say Italy in my. I didn't say this to anyone, but I put them in my prediction thing on the Euro app to win 1-0, and there's only one goal in it as well, 2-1. But I don't think anyone would have expected how these games would have gone. But of course, Spain are the clear favourites now. They've got Italy next game. It's going to be a cracker because that's on Thursday with England and Denmark. But I think for sure you can't take them out of this group at the moment. I think the team that's disappointed the most is Croatia, for sure. Again, it's creeping in that form from the qualifications. Hopefully they can get back in the Albania game, but I'm not too sure. It's going to be a tough way to get back into the game, but who knows? Let's move on to Group C, England's group, and Denmark. Surprise, surprise, surprise. I got my first prediction right, saying Slovenia were going to be in this tournament. And they are. Impressive draw against Denmark, who are a world-class team. Great goal from Christian Eriksen to kick off the game, but Slovenia found their rhythm. And may I tell you, those long shots are going to be threatening. And it's been a big thing of this tournament. Long goals from outside the box. There's been so many of them. And it's something that I think England and other teams have not been able to use, in those sort of shots inside the box are kind of fading away, and it's a new element of this tournament. But man, it is something to really look forward to, and man, I can't wait to find out how this group is going to go for England, because England just scraped the barrel. We did a review earlier today. I mean, Denmark and England are scraping the barrels, and look at Serbia and Slovenia. They've been on great form from the beginning of this tournament, and for looking at how this tournament is going at the moment, I mean, there's been some absolute cries for help. I think they're just talking about long shots here. I just want to listen to what they're saying, because they're still analysing the game between what's it called? Portugal versus who is it? Portugal versus Czechia. I I'm not saying. Sorry, I just went black because I was just listening to what they were saying. It was just showing all the goals. Looks like the Javanali, the ball. Not the shape of it, but it has like this weird curve. I think a lot more people are going to try it out now, these long distance shots. That's going to make this tournament really exciting. So, yeah, back to England. Just utterly, for me, a tad bit disappointing that we came into the tournament like that. But I do think that, we've got a good chance. We can build on something now, and it's going to take a long time for England to get to a point where England can be at their best. Another thing I think for Group C is it's very open. It's the first proper group that's open. I think Group B and A and even D went the right ways for results for the big teams, but I think this is the first proper group that's going to give us opportunity and chance. So we'll see how it goes. But for me right now, it's pretty clear that it's going to be England and Denmark's to dominate. But Slovenia and Serbia could be the first teams to get into this competition as outsiders. Group D, France and Austria. France, Austria, Netherlands off to a very good start. Poland as well coming in, but a bit unlucky, losing 2-1. Very late goal from the Netherlands gets them into a great position, and they are top of the group at the moment, just slightly ahead of France, who scraped a narrow victories yesterday night against Austria. In my prediction, I predicted that Austria were going to be strong, but not have enough quality to get first and second, and I think that's a clear thing at the moment. I do think Austria are a strong third place team and will build from the knockout rounds further onwards. But I think it's going to be very tough to see, how this competition goes for France. Netherlands are good. I think they've been slightly better than France. They had some decent quality around them. Again, both teams couldn't finish their chances, and in terms of quality and how these teams are going to be playing, I can't really put my predictions down on who I think is the clear favourite, but at the moment I think it is Netherlands, slightly ahead of France in this tournament. But who knows? I can't predict this one. I know these are quick reviews, but these are all I'm going to do for now. And these quick reviews are still going to be coming as we go on. But here's Group E. This is going to be a bit longer. This Group E, Slovakia and Romania put in the first upsets of the tournament, as we see both of them rule the group. Belgium and Ukraine, the two favourites, are off to a very bad start in this group, and for sure it creates some interesting feelings for sure as a nation. You can never really predict how everything is gonna go, really. And for a team of quality to not show their quality, I'm talking about the Belgium-Slovakia game, I think they were a bit unlucky. I do think Slovakia deserved the draw yesterday, not the win. But it creates some interest into this tournament. And there is certain interest here that anything could happen here in this group. And I did say Romania were going to finish second in my predictions, and was I right or was I wrong? Because that was an outstanding performance, and you can't take away from the way they played. Phenomenal work. There's elements there that anyone can say that that performance was a world-class performance, and probably the strongest performance from those lower runners. And I do think Romania will get one more win, and that might be coming against Slovakia. But going into that Belgium game, Belgium don't look particularly great. Okay, lack of opportunities that were given, and they did take some good shots. The quality wasn't there against Slovakia, and they just couldn't win that game. And there's a lot of controversial decisions coming from that game, and there's been a lot of controversial decisions yesterday. But phenomenal way to start the tour. A group where we have the two lower runners actually at the top, and now we've got something to look forward to in this tour. And I said this about Group E in my predictions, I think, and I'm saying it again here now. Group E is going to be very open. Belgium aren't as dominant as they used to be, and I don't know where Ukraine are going to come from now, because Ukraine usually have to start well in tournaments to build. We saw that in 2016, and we saw that especially at the last tournament when they got to the round of 16 and knocked out Sweden. And for me, I think Group E is a testament of the tournament, and if it goes the way it goes next round, that sees Romania wins, Faku win again, we could be on to some really big shocks, and it would be between Belgium and Ukraine for that final spot. So, I think it would go to Belgium, but who knows how this Belgian team lines up. They've got quality players, but not really delivering on the big stage right now. All right, let's move on to the final group, Group F, who've just rounded off just a few minutes ago at the time recording, or about half an hour ago now. Wow, wow, wow. Portugal scraping a win against the Czechia or Czech Republic, and we see Turkey do what I predicted. Who's right, who's wrong? There was a comment that I read in my comment description below that said Turkey are going to do really badly. Come on now. Turkey are winning this group. Portugal had to do something and had to scrape the barrel to beat Czechia of all teams. Czechia are a good team though, and the third youngest team of the tournament is off to a very good start, keeping Portugal away from them, and it's been a big issue for the big teams, especially for England and France, and I think also for the likes of Netherlands. They've not performed to, I think, the standard a lot of people were expecting, where they would run away for the first game, and we've noticed these four teams have not particularly done very well. I mean, Netherlands get away because they managed to win, and you could probably say France had a bit more quality than England, but the way Portugal won tonight was spectacular. It was a really, really good game, and I think there's another thing about this tournament, and I'll say that is at the end, is that there's been elements of shock for these bigger teams, and there's element of it's much closer, and this is why I think, I want to say it now, there's at least 9 teams who could win this from my point of view at the moment. And there's a clear top 5 at the moment. I think it's for sure Spain number 1. You could probably put Germany's number 2 in there. France, I would still be a top 3 contender. And I think England a top 4. And maybe tonight with how Portugal won, I think they're top 5 contender. But it's very close between England, Portugal, Netherlands and France, because I think those teams might actually not manage to get to this final. And I think Spain have the quality to go forwards. But back to Portugal, not a great way to start the tournament. They should really win this group with 9 points. But I'm going to be honest with you, I think they slip up next game against Turkey. Turkey showed tremendous element of surprise and have attacking element. I mean, they did switch off for a bit against Georgia in that first half, but that was going to always happen when you take an early lead. But I think the elements that they showed at the end, where they got that extra element, and they got players that have got good quality now. They didn't have that quality last turn. They had only Bayazin, but they got so much more quality in their team now, more quality than I actually thought. I'm thinking about it, they have had better quality than Portugal today. It might be different next round, and I think that game's going to be the decider for first and second. But I do hope Turkey do win this group, so I get to prove people wrong, because I don't know ball, but I do know my predictions tend to come out right. And I'm proud to make that prediction now, and I hope Turkey go on to win this group. They do have the 2 tougher teams now. That is going to be questionable after today. Do they go into that next game, go all out, or do they defend and go for a point? I think a point might be the best option here for them, but who knows? Let's move on to the final review. That is a full review of the first round. Okay, so my review of this first round, exciting, it's intrigued me, It's the best Euros I've ever seen, even better than last Euros. We had a lot of this, but we didn't have so many shocks. The big teams are on the back foot, including England and France. That's majorly exciting. You've seen Portugal show elements that are better than England. You've seen Spain, they were really good. Netherlands, they had great elements of character. And I've got to say, my top four are not England and France anymore. I've got to say, England and France may be a fifth and sixth in this ranking order. And right now, for me, I've got to say the Germans are first, but Spain and Netherlands are definitely in that top three at the moment. And Portugal probably just edge England and France with their performances. But it's clear there's six favourites now. I think Spain will be the biggest favourite next round for a lot of people. And I think Spain will get better at this tournament, actually, with so much young talent. And they've got a bit of experience as well. But it's going to take a long time. Who knows how this is going to go. Favourite goal? This is tough. But I got to go with Turkey's first goal today. That was an outstanding goal. There's been so many outside goals. I'm just like, wow. I think also that Slovenia one was really good. The Slovenia goal was outstanding. Christian Eriksen's goal was one to my heart. You know, what happened to him at the last round and him to get the first goal for Denmark. Truly special. And there's been some absolutely special moments already after 12 games. But we still got another 24 games to go in this group stages. There is going to be a lot more twists and turns. And I'll be back in the next 12 games to give you another review. It might be a bit more difficult this time because I will be not watching all of the games. I'll probably be watching the first all three tomorrow and then maybe two on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday because I'll be working. But I will be watching England and I will be watching Scotland. I do think both need more improvement. I don't know about Scotland, but I don't know how they're going to go into that next game. I do hope that they win it because it would just be nice to actually have the group a bit more open. But if Switzerland are to win, obviously that would be a great last game between Switzerland and Germany. England have got Denmark. It's a very exciting game. We know how the semi-final went last time. Denmark will want to get revenge. I don't know whether they're going to be able to do it, the quality that they showed against Slovenia, but we are also in the same boat right now, narrowly just beating Serbia. So both teams need to really up their game, especially Denmark, after how poorly they played in that World Cup group stages with Tunisia, Australia and France, if you remember, in Qatar. Teams that I think need improvement, of course, for me, I think today Portugal were a big one for me, France, and I would actually say at the moment, for me, it might be Hungary as well. There are teams that need massive improvement going into the next game. Teams that shocked me, I've got to go Turkey and Romania. They were brilliant today, Turkey especially. Didn't think they had the quality up front. I know they had certain quality, but not that level of quality. So, yeah, what a way to finish off this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed this first round review. It's very quick. We've done about 2 to 3 minutes on each group. Very quickly, these reviews are going to come out quick and fast. I'll also do a review on my predictions after the group stages end for the group stages, and then we'll see how many reviews we do for the round of 16. I keep doing these content because I'm trying to get as much football content out for the Euros before it's all over. Nevertheless, hope you guys have enjoyed the first 5 days. See you in another 4 days, I think it is, till the end of the next round, and then it's another, I think, 5 after that. But yeah, what a start to the tournament. Great start. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.